Hola amigos, bien o no, saludos desde Medellín. Hoy, dos palabras que están muy problemático. Rather or prefer. Y cómo utilizar uno u otro de estos. Es el tema de hoy. So today we're going to talk about rather or prefer, and which do we use, and why are they different when they're also really the same? Because when we look them up on the dictionary, we know that both of them really mean some type of choice. Rather comes up as a by choice, or prefer is to choose. So what's the difference, and why is there such a difference with how we use them? Let's show you some sentences, see if this makes it a bit clearer, okay? Let's try the first one. It's a general question. Do you prefer tea or coffee in the morning? Do you prefer tea or coffee in the morning? Would you rather have, or would you rather drink tea or coffee in the morning? Would you rather have, or would you rather drink tea or coffee in the morning? Both of these questions are asking the same thing. Right? What's your choice? Tea or coffee in the morning? But why are they written so differently? Well, this is why. Prefer is a verb, but rather is what's called an adverb. So something that kind of describes or amplifies the verb. So when we use rather, we have to use a second verb to say what we're going to do. And this is why you can't substitute the two words out of a sentence into a different one, because you need to make another change in the sentence, because one of them is a verb and one of them is an adverb. That, I think, is where the confusion comes out. Let's look at another example. Would you prefer tea or coffee in the morning? Would you prefer tea or coffee in the morning? Okay, so I can't put rather into this sentence. I can't say, do you rather tea or coffee in the morning? I can't say that. That doesn't make sense. So I have to say, would you rather have tea or coffee in the morning? Because I need the second verb to have, because rather is an adverb. Yeah? But if I say, would you prefer tea or coffee in the morning, I don't need to use have, because prefer is a verb. So I don't need to use it. But if I want to, I can, because I can use the two verbs together, but I have to say, would you prefer to have tea or coffee in the morning? Because I have to put have as an infinitive, because prefer is a verb. So I can't say, do you rather tea or coffee in the morning? Because I would have to say, would you rather have, or would you rather drink tea or coffee in the morning? But I can say, would you prefer to have? But I have to put the second verb in the infinitive. So really, if we're going to use rather, remember it that you're going to use would you rather, and then you need to think of the verb. Would you rather have? Would you rather drink? Would you rather see, visit, try, buy? This or the other. Yeah. If we're going to use prefer, we can use prefer on its own. Do you prefer? Would you prefer? Now, very often we're going to use would, because we're predicting something that's going to happen. We're offering you a choice in this moment. So it's like the near future. Would you prefer this? Would you rather try this? Would you rather have this? Would you rather drink this? Because it's a choice generally. Yep. If we're asking a general question, a general preference, and that's the clue, a preference, we can just ask straight out, do you prefer tea or coffee in the morning? Do you prefer, like, what is your preference generally? Any day of the week, not just right now or tomorrow, any day of the week, what's your preference? Do you prefer tea or coffee in the morning? So the clue there is preference as in prefer. If we're predicting something that's about to happen in the next 2 seconds or tomorrow or in the future anyway, we're going to use would you. And at that point we can decide whether we want to use rather, which we tend to use a lot more of. Would you rather tea or coffee? Yeah. Would you prefer tea or coffee? We have to be aware of the changes with the verb. So we're using rather. Would you rather have tea or coffee? Would you prefer tea or coffee? This is how we'd answer it. So I prefer tea is a fairly straight answer because it's a general question. Do you prefer tea or coffee? Well, I prefer tea. Would you prefer tea or coffee in the morning? Well, I would prefer tea. Would you prefer to have tea or coffee in the morning? I would prefer to have tea in the morning. Would you rather have tea or coffee in the morning? I would rather have tea. There we go. So remember, prefer is your preference. We're talking about it generally. But prefer is also a verb. So if you want to put another verb in that sentence, it has to be the infinitive. But rather, we normally only use that in this kind of form. Would you rather, or I would rather. And because rather is what is known as an adverb, you have to have a second verb to describe the action that you're going to do. There we go. I hope that was easy. It's a marvellous language. Right. Det har vi serverat i los comentarios. If that was really confusing, I'll try and re-explain it. But for now at least, I wish you a pleasant evening. And cheerio for now.